It's mid-March and my seedling room is already full. Do you want to see what I have? Here on Red Roof Family Farm, we grow flowers that we sell down at our farmer's market and also at a roadside stand. And with 100 beds in total to fill, that means I have to grow a lot of flowers. It's only March. My snow has only just melted because I am in Canada, zone 5. It is cold, but it's not going to be long until all of this is filled. And so I need to have those plants to fill up this space. So let's get into the seedling room. Part of the reason why I have so many seedlings right now is this cardboard is from all the seedlings that I got mailed to me. Seedlings that I didn't grow myself. These seedlings look incredible. They are so big compared to what I've grown myself. So we got to start with the best. The one I'm so excited about is actually something really simple. This is a tray of blue Statice. Not fancy, something I normally grow for myself, but these look incredible. I cannot get Statice to look this good as a plug. You know, these almost look like they should be like a salad or something. I just like want to eat it, stick my face in it. I'm really excited to see us starting with plants that are this far ahead. It means that I'm gonna get earlier Statice stems blooming, more cuts in total. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Next up is a plant that I had never heard of, and I have no idea how to say this. I think it's Trachelium, Lake Michigan. This one's purple. This looks so exciting. It looks like it's gonna be just the perfect filler for my bouquets, and these plants are just gorgeous, beautiful little baby plants. So very, very happy with how these turned out. And I have the purple, and then I also bought a tray in the white. So these are 200 plugs, so in total I have 400. So an entire farm bed to try out in this specific plant. You know, I'm excited. I don't think I've ever seen this in person, either in a florist, and definitely never in anyone's garden. A plant that people have been telling me for years that I need to try growing is stock. And last year I bought a single pack of seeds and we gave an experiment on it, and I really liked them. They have the most incredible smell ever. They smell like cloves, like everything good about those Christmas scents. Just beautiful spring flowers. But they were a little fussy to grow. They were a little bit difficult for me. So this year I ended up deciding to order them in, give it a try. And in total, I have 4 trays. So, you know, a bed or even maybe 2 beds worth of stock. And the colors I'm really excited about. This one is Katz Apricot. This is Katz Cherry. I ordered these so long ago. I ordered them in October. So like I can barely remember everything that I got. This is Katz Crimson. Beautiful, deep, rich color. And then Katz Double White. So I'm excited. Spring is gonna smell incredible. And these are something that I think might have potential to sell to florists too. Something not just for me to use on the farm, but also to sell in wholesale volumes to other people. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of inspiring and creative classes. But did you know Skillshare has hundreds of career-focused classes too? On the farm, there's always a million things that need to be done, and seeing all these seedlings stack up is a physical reminder. One of my big goals for this year is to improve my productivity. Recently, I've been really motivated by 21 Days of Purposeful Productivity by Mike D, which walks you through choosing goals and implementing habits to achieve them. It can be hard to know where to start for making positive changes, and I really like the way Mike breaks down the steps. Productivity classes have me feeling less overwhelmed and more excited to take on a new year of farming, and they're just a tiny segment of the great learning available on Skillshare. The first 1,000 of my viewers to join through the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can achieve your career goals this year. I also ordered in Snapdragons. Did an experiment. I wanted to see what it was like to get, the Snapdragon shipped in, what the plugs are gonna look like. And they look pretty good. One of the problems that I had with it is they got broken a little bit in shipping. Like the Snapdragons are quite brittle, which makes it easy to top them. They break off quite easily. But it also means that when they got a little smushed during travel, that they snapped really easily. I'm not worried about this. I pinched my Snapdragons, so this was kind of like the easiest pre-pinch ever that I got. So I'm still happy with these. I'm still going to be planting them out. And these are all earlier varieties that I've never tried growing myself from seed. So this is a cool white. I also have a cool pink, which is this really pretty kind of apricot-y color. I have another white variety. And then finally, I have one called Purple Twist, which I'm super excited about. I have these little like mini trays here because I ended up sharing a bunch of these with a couple other flower farmers. They took like, a quarter of the tray each, so I'm left with just a strip. But the Purple Twist is all for me. So I'm very excited to have a big chunk of those. And then I have some Lisianthus. But that's because my entire rack of Lisianthus is overflowing, and so I have more than can fit on there, and so I had to put just a few extras down on the ground. I have a lot of Lisianthus. In total, I ordered in 40 trays, and each of these trays have 280 Lisianthus plants in them. So an insane number of Lisianthus. They aren't all for me. I was sharing these with other flower farmers. So in total, our plan is to plant 10 trays into the greenhouse. Ian keeps being like, only 10, Serina, only 2 beds. That's like double what we planted last year. But, having them all here, I'm like, I don't know, maybe we should plant more. We have 20 that I own. I'm gonna be trying to sell the extras, but it's kind of tempting just to like plant 20. What is that? Like, that's only 5,000 Lisianthus plants. Let me know down in the comments what I should say to Ian to get him to allow me to have 5,000 Lisianthus plants. But we, like, with ordering in so many, and then yet again doing the split trays, like what I did with the Snapdragons, it means that I have so many colors to work with. But first, a backstory. So 2 years ago, I bought $100 worth of Lisianthus seed, all excited, having seen for the first time online how beautiful these Lisianthus flowers are. I wanted them. I had to have them. December rolled around. I knew you had to start these seeds super, super early. Got them started, $100 into the trays, and I every day came down and watered. I primped and babied those stupid seeds, and in the end, I had about 10 plants in total that survived to transplanting and 0 flowers. So I decided seeds are a waste of money, never doing that again. Last year, I found someone else who was coordinating an order of the plugs, and I got my name in, and that's how we were able to have the plants for last year, and it was incredible. It was so easy. It was so nice. That is the reason why I was experimenting with the things that I already showed you to come in. It creates a lot of streamlining in my system to be able to order some stuff in. The stuff on the ground here is the reason why I was able to like take a vacation in January, because flowers are crazy. Some of these flowers you have to start so early. But let's get back to what these actually are. Because I mean, like, look at these. These are like incredible. These, like, the amazing thing about buying these plugs is they just look so good. I could not grow anything that looks anything like this. I'm like, take all my money. Okay, so this one is, I'm so excited for this. I had to buy 2 trays. So yet again, all of this I ordered back in October. And I you know, it was kind of like the season wasn't even over when I was putting these orders in, but you had to get the order in early because they have to grow it for so long in order to get it. And some of these I couldn't order just a single tray of. Some of these varieties I had to get 2 of it. And if they were varieties that no one else had, you know, kind of put in as an option that they wanted, you know, 500 of the same color is too much for me when Ian's telling me I'm only allowed 10 trays in total. You know, 20% of it can't be one thing. But this I wanted so bad. This is Celeb Orchid, and the color on it is incredible. So once I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. I went and I convinced another flower farmer. I'm like, oh, hey, there's this other color. It looks really good. It's similar to this one that you were wanting. And so I convinced her to switch and get this with me. So I was able, 1 tray for her, 1 tray for me. So this one's all for me, all mine. And this is why we need to convince Ian that we need more than 10 trays in the farm. This is another one of those ones where the color is just incredible. And I have a whole tray of this. Yet again, I want to plant the whole tray. It's Celeb Extra Pink. I think that this color would be really appealing to florists. So I think that if I was to plant this one, you know, I could have lots of it, because if I'm selling it to florists, then florists would buy lots of it. Right, Ian? Right? Celeb is one of the more fancy varieties that we were ordering in. The other fancier variety that we liked was Voyage, and this is Voyage Champagne. I think there was 3 of this tray in total because everyone really wanted this color. You know, these aren't the colors that I normally go for, but these are kind of those like perfect for weddings, like florists love it. So both of these trays are leftovers of those champagne. Need to dig through everything. Everything's just barely labeled. Okay, next up, more Voyage. This one is light apricot. Similar to the champagne, just a little bit peachier. You know, and I'm interested to plant a bunch of these side by side to see in our light, because depending on how much sunlight, how like little cloud cover you get in where you're growing, I find the colors can be quite different from, you know, different areas. So like I'm really interested in cataloging what my colors of these colors look like. Okay, next up, this one I was like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Advantage Cherry Sorbet, just this incredible, really, really rich color. This is one of those, this is definitely less of a florist and more of a Serina and Ian color. You know, we definitely wanted the entire rainbow with a bunch of these. Oh, this one is nameless. We had a party where all the flower farmers came and we all were working together getting all the plants, and things got a little chaotic. We were marking everything on the side, but it seems like this one this one didn't get marked, so this one's obviously all mine. My mystery tray. I know it's good. I ordered nothing ordered was not good, so these are all great. Okay, then the more simple variety that we got is the ABC. So this is ABC Green, and we ordered the ABC because it was a lot more affordable than the Voyage and the Celeb ones. These, like, they were, you know, a third or 2/3 of the price. So it definitely made sense that in these bright colors, the ones that I'm going to be using for my market bouquets, where it's that punchy bright color that lasts for a really long time, is the appeal of the Lisianthus for me. I don't necessarily need to be spending an extra $100 just to get them a little bit more formal, like I would want if I was doing the wedding work. The great part about the ABC is they come in the most incredible colors. So we have Misty Blue. I bought this in 2 different blooming stages. There's like a Misty Blue 2, which means it blooms kind of mid-season. And then there's a Misty Blue 3, which means it blooms in succession later than that. So really cool color. I have a full tray of ABC White. Oh no, half tray ABC White up here. A half tray of the green again. I got a full tray of ABC White. lots of the white. Got a full tray here of ABC Yellow. This I'm really excited to see. You know, yellow's one of those ones I don't think to buy. This was a request from another flower farmer, but now that I have it, you know, it could actually be really bright and really fun. We tried the blue last year, and you know, that's why we have so many of these blues that are on the shelf. But you know, maybe the yellow is what I need. Here's the other Misty Blue, the one that I was saying was the other succession. This is another little chunk of Misty Blue. And then we have another mystery one here. This is Orange. This was another just for me one. I convinced a couple people, I had to get 2 trays of it, and I convinced a couple people to take some chunks. But this is Little Summer Orange. And when I saw the color, I was like, this is it. I mean, I'm obsessed with orange. Anything orange is my favorite. But I was like, this is the Lisianthus.
What do you like more, green flowers or orange flowers?
That is a hard one. Probably green flowers for me, but orange flowers to sell because they're really fun for me to arrange with. No, but the color's really cool on the Little Summer Orange. So I bought 2 trays of it, and it is one where I'm more than happy to have 20% be the same thing. Okay, we got ABC Rose, and this is in a half tray in Rose 2, half tray in Rose 3. What else do we got here? ABC Blue Rim. So this is kind of similar to the Misty Blue, but with like more of a variegated, but you know, super fun to have those colors. And then a half tray of the blue, which Ian told me on, he wouldn't help me with the farm if I didn't buy blue Lisianthus. So we're at a half tray, and I have to plant every single one of them. And I know that he's happy that I bought all these other colors too. Okay, let's see, moving down. Oh, so this is the most expensive out of all the Lisianthus plugs. This one was twice as much money as the ABC. And this is the Rosanne Brown. We had this last year, and it was incredible. I loved the color. It was definitely a favorite, you know, maybe my favorite out of all of them, even though the blue was a great thing. And then it bloomed the absolute earliest. So I'm really excited about those. Okay, we got, oh, these are cool. Celeb Beige Neo. I think that these are gonna do like really well as a wedding color. Just very, very unique, and then very formal for the plants too. This one is ABC Purple. So I have a full tray still of the purple. The purple's really similar to the blue. It's just a little deeper, a little richer. So then ABC Lavender. They make me happy. It's like, it feels so decadent to have this many of the Lisianthus. They're such a treat. Oh, okay, so this one, the color on this is insane. This is Can Carmine Rose. And this was the one that no one wanted except for me. And Ian doesn't know what this looks like. When I show Ian the picture of these, he's gonna be really excited. Because anytime anything's like a carmine color, we grow a lot of it on the farm. And it's one of those colors and plants that the camera doesn't pick up. It's like the color's too vibrant for the camera to register it, and they look so much better in person than they ever do like on film.
Well, it'll be a surprise for me because I don't know what carmine is as a color.
It's like that rich pink color that is like so saturated in color that the camera.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. This is ABC Rose Rim. And then the last one, I think that this is Rosanne Green. Oh, Misty Pink, ABC Misty Pink.
No more green.
That must mean the one that's just labeled green must be the Rosanne Green and not the ABC Green. Good to remember. That's pretty exciting to have all those plugs that came up, to have all these racks, but that's only the beginning. Because I literally have every single one of my racks filled. Behind me is an entire rack of all of my ranunculus and anemones, and they are looking way better than they should be, honestly. Like, these are like massive. They are getting so big. It's been so cold here. The plan originally was to start these, to pre-sprout them on these racks, and then we were gonna have them planted out so that when the Lisianthus showed up, they were supposed to have been on these racks. We actually, this rack that the Lisianthus is on, we had to go and buy and build. This is like a new additional rack. These plants are very, very overgrown. They're gonna be a little tricky actually to pull out because they've gotten so big. But the plan is they're getting planted this week. They're ready to go. These are the anemones. I mean, they look so beautiful when they're kind of all crammed in, like a mini forest. And then the ranunculus, they're like filling in, like they're growing really nicely. These will be really happy to get out of these trays. Each of these trays has about 100 in them. So they're crammed in very tight. The roots are gonna be all, it's gonna be a little bit of a whole thing.
You know what they look like to me?
What?
Money.
Oh yeah, this looks like money to you?
Yeah, lots of ranunculus.
In total, we started 2,700 ranunculus and anemones. I think the plan is, this is gonna be like 3 beds in our greenhouse. Like 2 beds of ranunculus and then an entire bed of like just really tightly planted anemones. And they're all these bright colors. There's like 300 orange, 200 yellow, a bunch, like I think we have 300 blue anemones, like some like really cool tiger striped anemones. I'm really excited because these are like, it's not gonna be long, right? It's, you know, it's mid-March now. The days, as soon as the season starts, the days disappear so fast. So I know that it's gonna be like 2 months until I'm making these bouquets, but those days are gonna go by so fast. So blink of an eye, and then I'm gonna have armfuls of rainbow ranunculus. Dusty. And then, less exciting, is the plants that I grew myself, because they just do not look as good as these professionally greenhouse grown ones. In these trays, I have Bells of Ireland, and they look a little sad. This one especially, it was under a light that wasn't working, and it took me about a day and a half to realize, and in that time they really stretched out. But no matter what, this is good for me because I've been trying to get Bells of Ireland in the farm for the last couple of years, and I keep failing. I've either been, I didn't get my seeds on time because they're a cooler crop, you want to get them in early, or last year I started them and they didn't grow. I had problems with germination. So, you know, these still are patchy germination. I still don't know the trick for these, but I have some. And so, you know, I think in total I'll have enough for a half bed with what there is here, and I have a second succession starting, so maybe I will in the end have an entire bed in total, which is amazing because they're green flowers. Green flowers are my favorite flowers, and they smell really good too. In this tray, these are soil blocks, and these are straw flowers. And this, yet again, this doesn't look like much, but it makes me very happy because my strawflower seed is getting a little bit older. So sometimes strawflower can have issues with germination. You really want to be using as fresh of seed as possible. But despite that, you know, these are filled in pretty good. I got silver and rose in this tray. And then over here I have white and apricot. And then I have more in the other room.
Hot out here?
But all the boys are out here.
I didn't see any.
This is where my seedlings normally are. This is, Ian likes to call it the bathroom. I like to call it the seedling room. We specifically designed this bathroom for seedlings. In the season, I have 2 racks. I have like one on this side and then one on this side, and then like a tiny little strip where I go. And then we designed the shower so that there's a second shower head over here. And this is not for like, oh, it's a rain shower, I can have it from both sides. This is purely just for me to like turn on the shower and water seedlings in the bottom of the shower. I've never actually even showered in this bathroom. I think Ian is like, took 1 shower once. But it's a great seedling room. So I have more of my straw flowers in here, and these are looking a little bit. These are looking a little better. These the ones out in there, like there's some empty spots in here because I'm having issues with some of my lights. So the other ones, they weren't growing as much because I don't think they had enough light. But on this tray, I have more silver and then yellow straw flowers. You know, and it's funny, right? Like the yellow had like really, didn't have as great of germination rate on it. And then on this tray, I have orange on this third, and yet again, kind of like in the way the yellow is having issues, this orange also just not great germination. But then I have purple red and copper red, so a whole rainbow. In total, you know, these trays, these don't look like much, but this is half a farm bed worth of plants. So these little mini soil blocks, they add up. And then I have my Statice. This is another early one that I need to start. And as you can see here, this tray right here, here's my, this is my blue Statice right here. So kind of makes sense why the plugs that got mailed to me have me so excited, because my plugs that I bought look a whole lot better than the plants that I'm growing. And then on this side, we have purple Statice. And then I have a whole tray of Apricot Statice. This color, it doesn't produce as many stems. The genetics on it just like aren't as strong as the other colors, but the color is incredible. The color is like super desirable. I could sell it to florists for weddings. So, you know, as much of this as I can have, the better. And then we have a whole tray of white Statice, because this is another one. The white blends with everything. It's really good for me to use for the dried flowers too. You know, the white does really well for our Christmas ornaments, and then florists might want to purchase it. And then we got a little bit more of my Bells of Ireland. Germination was a little bit better on these. Makes me happy. Bells of Ireland, I can't wait. And then down here, we have some yellow Statice and some rose Statice. And then I have a tray of other types of dried flowers. So this is Winged Everlasting on this side, and then this is Pierrot White. And this is, you know, this is kind of similar to the Strawflower, and then the Winged Everlasting is these like little smaller cluster flowers. So I really enjoyed having these, and especially for the Winged Everlasting, they were really good for our Christmas ornaments because they were even smaller than the straw flowers. But this isn't the end. I still have one more rack. I still have a whole other rack out in my main room. I have a sink here that's really easy to water with. I use the bathroom because I can close the door and make it warmer in that room, but these are all cooler flowers. They don't need a lot of heat, so they're fine to have out in this room, and it gives me a little bit more space to move around the bathroom. But some really exciting stuff in here, like this, which looks amazing, but is a little intimidating because this is like 1,000 Snapdragons all in a single tray, and I need to break it apart into individuals, and I haven't done it yet, and they're getting very large. So that's my job for when I'm done making this video. But so I have my Costa Snapdragons in there. And then Costa Apricot is half of this tray, which are my butter popcorn Snapdragons. And then the other half of the tray is Chantilly's, which are like a frilly early double. So these I'm really excited about. They're looking gorgeous. They're gonna wanna go out pretty soon. And then I have a few bits and pieces of my anemones and ranunculus that didn't fit onto the other rack, kind of hanging out in here. Then we got Feverfew. This is the single Feverfew. I think it's Magic is the variety name. But they're coming along. They're getting their little frilly leaves starting, which makes me very happy. That right there is a half tray. And then this is Ammi's. So I have a green mist Ammi, half the tray there, and then the other half is white Dill. And these are coming along really nicely. This is probably like a week or two, and then it's all of this in a week or two is gonna be ready to go outside. And our weather will hopefully be warmed up enough that it'll be good conditions for it. Then I got some more Snapdragons. This is Potomac Orange, and this is more of a summer variety. And then I have Rudbeckia Indian Summer. Rudbeckia is a little pain in the butt for germinating, but so I did a lot of the Indian Summer, and you can see it's a little patchy, but this is more than enough for what I'm gonna need. I like to start double of what I actually need when it comes to Rudbeckia. And then we got Yarrow. This is Summer Berries Yarrow. So this is a really pretty mix. And, I could have started this earlier. These plants are quite small. Yarrow you can plant out like really early. It is a perennial for us. But the last year, our perennial yarrow got really aphidy. And our freshly planted yarrow did really well. And starting these kind of like later yarrows are also a way for us to get a succession. This yarrow will bloom a little bit later than the yarrow that's already growing outside. So, I don't mind doing it as an annual too. Okay, and then here's some new ones that we've never done before. I have Campanula Lavender in here. And, my germination kind of sucked on this. This wasn't great. I've never tried Campanula before. I felt a little bit better about myself because the other day I was reading that it's one that's hard. It's a more difficult one to grow. It's more difficult to germinate. So I was like, okay, well, I didn't do that great at it, but at least other people also have that experience. And then I have Campanula White. No matter what, I've never done Campanula before. It'll be an interesting experiment to see how it does. And maybe next year I'll buy it as a plug, mailed to me. Don't have to bother with this. And then this is Echinops. I've been trying to buy more Echinops. Echinops is a perennial here for me. And I haven't been able to find it. It hasn't been available. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna grow some. I'm gonna grow it for myself. So I think I bought like 1,000 seeds, and I definitely don't need that many Echinops plants. But so I started with this. We'll see how it goes. And they're a perennial. I can grow some more in the summer inside to plant out in the fall to overwinter. And I can kind of assess my needs. Okay, these are Feverfew again. This is the double variety that I grow, and they're looking really happy. They're looking even happier than the single. Can't wait. And then these ones are kind of a pain in the butt too. The germination was kind of spotty on these. This is Fama Scabiosa. I have blue and white, and I really liked these. I heard they're supposed to be perennial, but I've also heard that they're only an annual, that they don't survive the winters. So I grew some last year. I was really hoping that they'd come back, and I wanted even more. So that's why I grew this tray. But I guess we'll see in the coming weeks if those last year plants start growing. But worst case scenario, I'll have all of these for myself this year. And then last but not least, more of the Bells of Ireland. So these are my other 2 trays, 6 trays in total. It seems crazy to have every single one of my growing racks filled in mid-March with these like overflowing plants. But a lot of these, like all of this here, is going to be getting planted this specific week. And a lot of those smaller ones that I showed you, they're also going to be out into the ground, in the beginning of April. So these racks are going to be emptying up, and I'm going to be starting another round. One of the things that always amazes me about having a flower farm instead of a flower garden or even a vegetable farm is how much ahead of time you have to be thinking and growing these things. A lot of this stuff, you need to be starting it months and months ahead before when it's actually blooming. And you need to grow out an entire round of spring, plant it out, and then grow out an entire round of summer and plant it out, all before kind of spring even really begins. So we are into the busy time here on the farm, but nothing but gratitude to be surrounded by these beautiful green plants.